that are going to come alongside us to help us out, and I will be introducing them when it's their time to come up. So thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Thank you all for your service, for those who gave of themselves during that time. And we're just here to say thank you and to honor those who lost their lives. So without further ado, this is Dan Grady, our CEO of Hospice of Orange and Sullivan County.
Thank you, Janice. I want to thank everybody for being here today, especially as the proud son of 2 veterans. So on behalf of Hospice of Orange and Sullivan County and our We Honor Veterans Committee, I'd like to welcome you all here today. And for those who join online, we'd like to welcome you too. For the second annual ceremony observant of the National Vietnam War Veterans Day, I ask Hospice Chaplain Ed Mason to begin our ceremony with a prayer. There he is.
In the quiet sanctuaries of our own hearts, let us each of us call on the one whose power over us is great and gentle, firm and forgiving, holy and healing. You who created us, who sustain us, who call us to live in peace, hear our prayer this day. Hear our prayer for those who served, who are with us today, who gave their best when they were called upon to serve and protect our country. May their lives be filled with honor and their hearts be filled with peace. Hear our prayer for those who gave their lives in the service of others and accept the gift of their sacrifice. Hear our prayer for all those who put the welfare of others ahead of their own and gave us hearts as generous as theirs. Help us to shape and make a world where we will lay down the arms of war and turn our swords into plowshares for a harvest of peace, of justice and peace. Hear our prayer this day, and in your mercy answer us in the name of all that is holy. Amen. I'd like to introduce Charlie Alonji from Rolling Thunder, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome home, guys. Welcome home.
Hospice of Orange and Sullivan Counties is committed to the veterans in our care and the veterans throughout our communities. Today, we observe National Vietnam War Veterans Day with the support of the VFW of Newburgh, Post 973, the Greater Newburgh Marine Corps League 249, the Orange County Veterans Service Agency, Rolling Thunder Ch3NY New York, 3NY New York, and the VET2VET Program through the Mental Health Association of Orange County. The Vietnam War Veterans Recognition Act was signed into law by President Trump in 2017, designating every March 29th as National Vietnam War Veterans Day. The day's observance is to thank and honor our nation's Vietnam veterans and their families for their service and their sacrifice. And with that, I'd like to introduce Christian Farrell, Director of Veteran Services of Orange County. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. Good morning, everyone. The Presidential Proclamation Vietnam War Veterans Recognition Act of 2017 was created to ensure the sacrifices of the millions of heroes who served during this challenging chapter of our country's history are remembered for generations to come. The Vietnam War commemoration honors U.S. Armed Forces personnel with active duty service between November 1st, 1955 through May 15th, 1975, regardless of the location of service, which includes those 9 million Americans who served during that time, 6.4 million Americans who are still alive today, 2.7 million U.S. service members who served in Vietnam, the 58,000 names listed on the Vietnam Memorial in our nation's capital, 304,000 who were wounded, 1,253 who were missing in action, heroes who have not yet returned to American soil, and the 2,500 prisoners of war. The commemoration makes no distinction between veterans who served in country, in theater, or were stationed elsewhere during those 20 years. Commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War will continue through Veterans Day 2025. Those Vietnam veterans in attendance today, I want to thank you for your service. Welcome home, welcome home. Steadfast and loyal, we will drive through. Now it's my honor to welcome and introduce Clint Alsop, the Orange County VET2VET Supervisor. Clint?
Hello, everyone. On behalf of every Vietnam veteran who gave their lives, we honor you today. As the names of our local heroes engraved on the Vietnam Veteran War Memorial statue located in Newburgh are read, a white carnation will be thrown into the Hudson River to honor their sacrifice. Personally, I want to thank you for your service and say God bless you all. I would now like to introduce Mr. Dave McTammany and Mr. Frank Fisher of VFW Post 973.
These are the 68 young men from Orange County who gave their lives in Vietnam. Thomas E. Adams, Richard K. Ali, Robert L. Anderson, Alan W. Andrews, Gary B. Baker, John R. Beck, Robert F. Berger, Jimmy Van Bach, Peter Bonwagner, Nicholas G. Brooks, Thomas J. Case, Peter A. Clavio, George R. Claypool, Eugene J. Curliss Jr., Stanley R. Davis, James V. Dragone, Joseph D. Dwelk Jr., David E. DeMond, Ramon H. Gonzalez, John M. Graham, Paul J. Harrison, James J. Hefner, Dennis M. Hoteling, John E. Huestis, George E. Hulse III, Eugene H. Kirkland, James G. LaFleur, Nicholas P. Lasando Jr., Peter Lynch, Richard C. Marsh, Stephen Matarazzo, John F. McCabe, James F. McGoey, James H. Malich.
Anthony J. Marina, Thomas L. Mork, Samuel T. Morrow, David S. DeLuca, Thomas D. Peterson, Carl J. Peterson, Robert F. Price, Frank J. Puglisi Jr., Frank D. Raz, Anthony L. Reed, Robert Guerrero, John A. Hall, John K. Patel, Raul Rivera, John Roche, Ernest Rosado, Philip E. Rominski, Robert H. Sanders, Edward A. Scully, Andrew A. Sharp Jr., Alfred F. Simpson, James W. Smith Jr., Joseph J. Smith, Robert F. Starbuck, David B. Stover, Paul E. Teague Jr., Carl W. Titus, Jose E. Torres, Patrick F. Dandinaho, David H. Whitehill, Charles C. Windler Jr., Herbert J. Wisher, John L. Wolford.
Detail. 10 hut. Reset. Park.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your support in the ceremony. Like I mentioned before, this is the second ceremony that has been done here in Orange County, and we plan on doing this every year, and we're hoping it's going to get bigger so that more people are aware of our veterans that need to be honored. So thank you all for being here.